Hello, this is RICKY, the Android Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where we go over all the latest news that happened during the week and answer your questions live. So if you are new to the show and you're watching us live, just make sure to ask your question in the comment section down below, and we will get to it before the end of the show. Now, first thing is first, we first go over the mobile news that happened during the week. Then we answer all questions that were emailed to me during the week or asked on our Patreon page. For those of you who haven't seen, in the comment in the description down below, we do have a Patreon page. We have 2 more days, actually 1 more day for the giveaway, and then the last day will be the day it's announced on November 1st. So if you want your chance to win some Bluetooth headphones, they're $100 value, level active headphones. Check out our Patreon page in the description, and all you need to do is, for your chance to win, it's at random. One Patreon's gonna win, and all you have to do is donate $1, and that's it. So let me know what you guys think we should do for next month, and again, it of course depends on how much money we get from it. But that being said, if you want to email me, just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure your subject is question, and I might answer it next week. All right, now without further ado, let's get to the news topics that happened during the week, and the first one is a pretty big one. Yes, while Samsung has been having many issues, we're already about to start talking about the Galaxy S8. Yes, the Galaxy S8 is supposed to come with a sleek new design, so we're going to have a newer design made from it. We're going to have improved camera. Many talks are pointing towards the dual camera, similar to how the iPhone has, implemented for more zoom, but even taking it further to a 3x zoom. So that's what we're hearing as of right now. And of course, the last one is definitely going to be using the Vivo technology. As I talked about in a few weeks, Samsung did buy Viv Labs, which were the co-founders of Siri, and they sold their early version of voice assistant to Apple, which created Siri. But they now developed something even better, and then Samsung bought that company. So we're going to see a very interesting turn, and it's really interesting if the S8 already has this enhanced AI. I was more thinking that the enhanced AI would come with the Note 8 later on down the line, but it could obviously even come sooner with the S8. So I'm very interested. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this will be enough, and will this be compelling for you? A sleek new design, an improved camera, and a better enhanced AI than Siri. Would this be enough for you to get a Galaxy? Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Personally, I talked to a friend about this, and I said, the real thing is here. If Samsung makes an amazing looking phone, if the S8 looks amazing, all will be forgiven in the media's eye. Because as soon as people see, like, oh my god, that looks so freaking good, like, I'm gonna go get that one. Look, that's what happened this past year with the S7 and the Note 7. The reason why so many people bought it, and even it took Apple users by the loads with the S7, was because of that fact that it looked so damn good and it was so impressive. And Samsung is going to need to bring it because Apple is bringing their iPhone X, and that will be a heavy contender come next year. Now, as of that, we also have confirmation of something that some of you brought to my attention, and I really wanted to get to the bottom of this. So, some of you brought to my attention there was a rumor that Samsung was going to give a discount on phones. If you bought the S7 now, that you would get a discount on phones later on. So Samsung officially gave a statement that they will offer a discount for people in South Korea. My guess is this will not go in any other country because they have a lot of control in South Korea, so they can do the logistics of it. I do not think we'll see this in the US personally, or any other country that has multiple carriers, but that's just my opinion. That with this, we will see a discount if you get an S7 now. And here's the thing, here's the important part. They said specifically, they stated that they would get a discount or a full amount, half the price or whichever you want, whatever kind of discount basically, of the S8 or the Note 8. Now here's the thing. This indirectly confirms there will be a Note 8. Because as of right now, we don't know. We were like, oh, is Samsung going to stop the Note line? Is that it? Is that just, it's gone? Well, it inadvertently confirmed that there will be a Note 8. At least for now, it seems that the company is set on keeping the name. Could that change in 6 months' time after they do, marketing research saying that, oh, the Note name is really bad and looks really bad now? It's possible. But the whole point is the fact that that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking to see if that could happen. Overall, it looks like Samsung does want to keep the Note lineup, and quite frankly, I think they should. I think the Note lineup has gotten too much credit in the tech world as being the best phone at the end of every year, so it's really would be a shame to not have that. Speaking in other phablet news, if you bought a Pixel international version and live in the US, you might want to take a look at going to T-Mobile if you don't already have it, or just adding it to your plan. Say for instance, for me, I bought the Pixel XL and I could take it over to T-Mobile and essentially get it 50% off throughout 24 months. Now, this is a really cool feature because it's literally like I'm not doing anything else but just changing my plan from regular T-Mobile to T-Mobile One. Now, T-Mobile One is great for most people. For my family, they don't need unlimited data, so I wouldn't say it's perfect for them. But it would be great for me if I was on a solo plan. Now, the other thing you have to keep in mind is this is $13.55 out of 24 months. So if you're one of those people like me that upgrade every year, well, I'm not going to ever get half. But nonetheless, 325 divided by 2, that means you're going to get over $100 back just for having this T-Mobile plan. So if you were planning on getting the Pixel, and AT&T isn't going to give you anything, Verizon gives you a trade-in value if you had another phone and are now getting the Pixel. But so whatever you want to do, this is a good choice that you guys should consider if you just happen to get a Pixel and you were unsure on which carrier to put it on if you had the unlocked variant. Also, if you don't have the unlocked variant, T-Mobile will accept the Verizon version, although that has a lot of fees if you're going that way. Like, you could theoretically switch your old phone out, get a Pixel XL from Verizon, then take that over to T-Mobile. T-Mobile will pay your cancellation fee and then pay half of the phone. But then it gets really weird and complicated. So I don't know if you want to put yourself through all that, but that's a possibility too. And in other news, officially the Galaxy Tab A 10.1 with S Pen will be coming to the US. Now, there will be multiple variants, but for $350, it's a pretty damn good tablet. It's a 10.1 inch, 3 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of expandable storage. You have a 10-inch screen, again, 1080p display, which is a new for the Tab A. The Tab A has traditionally not had the best screen. 8 megapixel camera, 2 megapixel front camera, and a 7,300 battery. Overall, with this it kind of upsets me more than anything. I mean, look, it's great for some people, and if you just want an inexpensive tablet, you get an S Pen. That's great, and it's a 10-inch, it's a 1080p screen, but I want to replace my Tab S2, and Samsung doesn't have a good upgrade for it. I don't have an AMOLED screen with this tablet. I would gladly pay $200 more for that AMOLED screen and some better hardware, better RAM, better processor and everything, but I don't have that option. So right now in Android in general, I don't have an amazing tablet to upgrade to, and that kind of bums me out. I get it. The tablets have taken a hard hit this year, but Samsung is just really missing out by not making a tablet with the design of this. Make a tablet that's based off of this design. People are going to buy it, Samsung. You'll gain market share back. But if you keep putting out stuff like this, don't expect anything. And finally, Samsung, through it all, I want people to know this because, their earnings were just shared. Apple and Samsung shared their earnings this past quarter. And even with all the heavy hits, I think it was about this is companies that make billions of dollars. But I want to say it was something where along the line between $5 and $7 billion difference between Apple and Samsung. And the reason why that's so important is because this is with Samsung having the full month of September and all of their Note 7 issues, and then Apple having their iPhone 7 launch. Even with that, Samsung only lost in the revenue by about 5 to 7 billion. I want to say it was 7 billion. But although that might seem like a lot, these are companies that are making over $40 billion every quarter, mind you. Quarter, not year. Quarter. So that is one thing. But despite that, don't get me wrong, it's the worst their mobile division has had in 6 years, because their mobile division obviously took the worst hit. But Samsung makes a lot of other products, and that's what kept them afloat. So speaking of phones, though, in terms of market share for the end of the quarter with this Note 7 issue, they only sold 72 million units. I know I say only, but that is far less than they typically do. They're typically closer to the 80s and 90s with this point. You have 45 million units coming from Apple, coming in at 12% market share, whereas Samsung holds at 20% now. They used to have 25, so that's a big dip. And you also have Huawei hitting 9.3% with 33 million phones, and Oppo coming in at 7%. So people often ask me, well, isn't LG like the third top selling smartphone? No, there are actually many Chinese and other foreign companies that do much better sales than companies like LG or HTC that we see in the US. There's companies that sell far more than them overseas. All right. And that being out of the way, I'm going to answer 2 questions that were emailed to me this week. If you have any questions you would like to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below, and I will hopefully answer before the end of the show. All right, now let's get to those 2 questions. And the first one was from a person that had a really good argument as of a comment that I made last week, and this is from Wes. And Wes says, "Why are you so down on Acer products? On your last Android Weekly, you said something negative about Acer. She goes on, or he or she goes on to talk about, their Acer laptop that they bought in 2010. It's been great. Sister even got it and has no complaints about it. Wouldn't even let it buy back because she still loves it, and that's since 2010. This is 6 years later, and they've both been very happy with their Acers. So why did I have such a negative thing to say about Acers when I was talking to one of the people that left a comment on asking me about an Acer product? Well, that's because we all have our own brand experience, and that brand experience can really determine what brands we buy in the future. For instance, myself, I have been through many laptops in my time. I mean, probably over 10, honestly, since I was in high school and up. I've had a lot of laptops in my time. Maybe not that many. Maybe more like six or so. Yeah, more like 6. That sounds right. So computers over 10, laptop 6. But so I've had a lot of them, right? And in my experience, which is, again, very different from yours, in my experience, Acers have crapped out very quickly. Acer and eMachine, which Acer ended up buying, were horrible in my experience. That comes from buying a lot of laptops, having a lot of advice that I gave to friends on their laptops and fixing their laptops, being in IT in a real estate company for about 2 years where I fixed desktops and laptops, and being all that, I've had nothing but issues with Acers. Just nothing but issues, always parts going bad, always failing, and that's my experience. But again, everyone has their own personal experience. We can actually take the Note 7 as a recent experience that would probably be amazing as something that a lot of people had no issue with whatsoever. But imagine this. Imagine I am an Apple user that I know that's very hard to imagine. Imagine I'm an Apple user and I now went on to get a Note 7. I'm going to try Samsung for the first time. Heard all these great things about the Samsung. I'm like, my Android friends finally convinced me, okay, I'm going to try it. And then all this happens. You better believe I am like, oh no, my phone was getting kind of hot while I was using it. I'm done. I'm never buying a Samsung phone again. This validates everything I had thought before, my pre-connotations about the Note 7, about Samsung, and about any other product besides Apple. I'm going back to my Apple products, and that's it. Well, that is exactly, again, one brand experience that someone might have just had, but that's their personal brand experience. For a person that's had many Samsungs, I'm like, no, this is one bad issue. They look out of seven notes, because there was the Note Edge. Out of 7 notes, this is the first thing that's ever happened. Out of 12 flagship phones and over 50 regular phones, this is the first time anything like this ever happened to Samsung. So I'll take it as a one-off, and that'll be it. And I'm going to continue buying Samsung products. But these are very different connotations, again, based on your brand experience. And so that's all that is that the reason why I talked bad about Acer, because in my brand experience, they've been horrible. In your brand experience, they've been amazing. I had a friend, my editor, actually, he just bought a MacBook for college. And I was like, oh, well, there was an Asus that was like that, and there was an HP that was like that. Upon further investigation, I found about 20 that were better, but not gonna go into that. But the problem is that he said, yeah, with HP I saw that one, but I've had issues with HPs in the past. Again, I couldn't say really anything because although I've had great experience with HPs, he didn't. So it's hard to convince someone of something they've seen with their own eyes, something they've experienced themselves. And it's just your life experience may vary. And that's all there is to it. You can't really jump over that hurdle by just doing that. And that's all there is to it. So that's the main thing I would say, is that when it comes to your experience will vary. Some people have great experience with certain brands, and some people have horrible experience with other brands. Let me know in the comments section down below. What brand have you either had great experience with, or what brand will you never buy again because of one bad or multiple bad experiences? Let me know in the comment section down below what brands you don't like, or did like, or don't like now because of experiences in the past. And our last question comes from Wesley Hayes, and Wesley asks, I have a Note 2. Should I buy an S7 Edge or wait for the S8 Edge or the Note 8 release date for the Note 8? So here's the thing. For one, we don't know the release date for the Note 8. There's no way of telling. Typically the S series comes around March to April, and typically the Note series comes anywhere from July to September. Now, we always do estimates, of course. I would guess that the S8 would come out in March, and I would guess the Note 8 would come out in August. Is that a definite? No, of course not. So should you buy an S7 Edge? Well, an S7 Edge will be better in every way than your Note 2. It will. It definitely will be better. But will the S8 Edge be better than that? Yes, it will. Of course, the S8 Edge is going to be way better than the S7 Edge. But that is, again, just say if our estimates are right, right? Say if it's March. That is means you're going to wait from November, since it's the end of October. We're not going to count October. So that's November, December, January, February, March. That's roughly about 4 to 5 months, depending on when it would come out, if it would come out in March. So that's 5 months. Can you wait that long with your Note 2? Is your Note 2 in bad shape? Are you really irritated? You just want to get a new phone? If that's how you feel about your phone right now, then yeah, I would go to an S7 Edge. It'll be way better. It'll have a lot better of experience. If you can wait, yeah, the S8 Edge is going to be way better than the S7 Edge, definitely. But you have 5 months to wait for it. So that's going to be your decision to make, and that's my advice. Alright guys, I'm going to start to answer every single one of your questions in the comment section down below. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to ask it now in the comment section down below. Okay, V20 thoughts. I am not the biggest fan of a V20, and there's definitely people that will be. The two biggest things for me is that, one, I didn't like that it wasn't water resistant, but the biggest thing for me personally, and this is even while I'm having a problem with the Pixel XL, which is, you know, might be one of the best phones, if not the best phone of the year, but one thing that's very, very hard for me is to stop using wireless charging. So, for instance, I always have a wireless charger over here. Always have a wireless charger in my office. I also have a wireless charger in my living room. I also have 2 wireless chargers in my bedroom, one for my wife and one for myself. I also have a wireless charger that I keep in my laptop bag. I also have a wireless charger that I take with me on trips. Why do I am such a big fan of wireless charging? Well, because 1, it's very easy. 2, it never damages my battery life. And 3, it's just convenient. I went from an S7 to a Note 7 and I never changed a plug in my house. Never went to Type-C. Why? Because I didn't need to, because all I did was use wireless charging. So since the V20 doesn't have that, and I have lived with wireless charging, I cannot not have wireless charging. The V20 apparently will have a backing that'll give it wireless charging, which is great, but until I would get that backing, or unless I would get a deal for that backing, for me personally, I wouldn't want it. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. LG V20. Someone said they have no idea what a V20 is. The LG V20, one of the best smartphones that's out right now that you can buy for Android. Just personally not my favorite. I do feel that LG with the V series leans way too much more towards manual controls, which is a niche market. If you want to have the best audio connection, LG V20. If you want to have amazing quality when it comes to manual controls for photos and audio recording, man, you are definitely getting the V20. But that's it. That's what really stands out about the V20. In terms of camera quality, the S7, S7 Edge, the Pixel, even the iPhone are better than the V20. So that is a big hit for me. The battery life is good, and you can replace the battery, which a lot of people do like that buy the V20. So it's definitely for a niche market, but I feel that it really is more for a niche than the mass audience. How is the S8 gonna look? I don't know. I'm hoping it sticks with the glass. I don't want metal, to be honest, because of wireless charging. For those of you who don't know, metal and wireless charging don't mix well. That's why any metal phone doesn't have wireless charging. Can you please tell me a router, Wi-Fi, gaming router that's cheaper than $100 that's also comes... So wait, you want a gaming router that's cheaper than $100 and supports fiber optic? No, I know none of those off the top of my head. Most of the routers that I've tended to buy have been around towards 150 more so. For gaming, if I buy it for like my family or something like that, we've gotten routers for them that are closer from 80 to 100 bucks because they don't need the gaming aspect of it where you're having faster transfer speeds for gaming. But Yeah, so that's I know none of them that support fiber optic. I might be out of the router game for a little bit. I'm more looking into routers that have the three router system, like Google's new one. That they have a new router that basically, so I can have one router right here, which is my router is on my desk. So I obviously need the fastest gigabit connection right there. But then I could have another one towards that corner in the house, and that's right above my bedroom. And then have another one in this corner of the house upstairs, though, so I have a better signal throughout the house, and it's a much better signal that way. It's basically like routers and repeaters combined. So yeah, so that's what I was looking more into, but I've not looked into a specific gaming router. But most of the ones that I used to get were closer to 150, and I've never seen any with fiber optic support. Again, that could be a new thing, but nothing I've seen. Hi, you're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Will you be getting the Xiaomi Mi Mix? So, for those of you who don't know, this is a phone that I want to get. I've reached out to Xiaomi. I've gotten no response. So, I'm going to ask for your guys' help again. We've done this in the past, and it's worked in the past. So, I want to ask all of you guys to do me a favor. And I want you to tweet at Xiaomi, spelled X. Okay. So at Xiaomi with the at symbol on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere you can, social networking, Facebook, wherever you can. Go on their Facebook page or anything like that. It's spelled XIAOMI. XIAOMI. So that's Xiaomi. Say at Xiaomi, please send at the underscore Android guy the Mi Mix, spelled M-I, the Mi Mix smartphone to review. Please post that right now if you guys can, so we can get it in the studio. I love the look of that one. It is probably, I'm not going to lie, it's probably the sexiest looking smartphone of 2016 if you have not taken a look at it. But yeah, I'm going to put it in the comments section right now so you guys can see that one. But yeah, if you can, do that right now. Post them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you can reach them, and say, hey, send the underscore Android guy the Xiaomi Mi Mix, and hopefully we can get that in studio. Hopefully they'll contact us because I really want to review that phone. It looks so damn beautiful. All right. Will you do an unboxing of the V20? Unfortunately, we have not heard back from LG for the V20, and it's been out for already almost a month now, so it does not look like we'll be doing the V20. I'd hope to get more products. Again, for those of you who, we talked about this earlier on in the video, but if you're just catching up with us, we wanted to buy more phones with the Patreon channel. Unfortunately, we're not getting the kind of numbers we need to get phones. If we had hit like the $500 mark, basically, we could buy a phone, review it, and then give it away to one of you guys. But we're not just getting the numbers we need to be able to do that on Patreon. So if you want us to review more phones like the Xiaomi Mi Mix, look, I have no problem buying it right out with your guys' help and then giving it to you guys. So I'm not making any money off of it. I'm literally just buying it to review and then giving it to you guys, but I'm not making any direct profit off of you giving me the money. I'm literally just buying the phone and giving it back to you guys. So but yeah, that's what our idea was for the Patreon page. If we don't unfortunately do better in November, that will be the last month for it, and that's all we want to do with the Patreon page for things like the V20, which LG is not sending us. I would want to buy it and then give it away to you guys, but we can't because we don't have the ability to. V20 or Pixel? I would definitely get the Pixel over the V20 at this point, just for the better battery life and better camera. that those two would make me want to get the Pixel more, in my opinion. It rivals the Note 7 just as fast with the lighter UI. I really don't like LG's UI too much, but that's just my opinion. Hopefully, the next Note will bring back removable battery and expandable memory. Most importantly, won't catch fire. The Note will not have removable battery as of right now. Samsung will never have removable battery because of Samsung Pay. Samsung Pay makes it so your battery has to stay in the phone at all times. You can't take off the backing. So for that reason, you're not going to see removable battery. Who still has a Galaxy Note 7? I have one of them. I had two. I have one still. All Note 7 owners will get the S8 for half price. Again, as of right now, they only said one's over in South Korea, not any other country. That was specifically stated in the original statement in Korea, and then Yahoo was the first one to report it. Samsung needs to put the kitchen sink in the S8 to wash the memories of the Note 8 away. I agree, we need replaceable batteries, period. S8 is going to be a win. Note 4 rooted with updated software can hold its own against the newer phones. Not when it comes to camera. S8 also will have a 4K screen. I worry about that 4K screen. I really, really do. You have to understand, having a 4K display is going to suck for battery life. It's really going to suck for battery life. It's one reason why phones like that were 720p display have almost as good, if not better, battery life than 2K display or 1080p screens. 4K is just going to suck up the battery. I really don't want it, but we'll see. The problem is if you're trying to convince someone to root their phone, it's not a good idea if they don't know how to root, because then to get any support on that after will suck. You'll have to keep rooting. That's why most tech people that I know that we always did root don't root anymore because of that. S6 Edge 64 gig and iPhone 6s 128 gig are my daily drivers. Those are some really nice daily drivers. Which which smartwatch is the best? The Moto 360 second gen or the Huawei watch? I want one with a long-lasting battery and to see it hold up through time. I would choose the Huawei one over the Moto 2. Two reasons. One, the battery is better on the Huawei. And two, you don't have the flat tire, which I can't stand the flat tire. I'm sorry, Moto users. Moto 360, I did not like the flat tire. My opinion. Or should you wait for the next Moto 360? Well, unfortunately, there will not be a new Android smartwatch from what we heard till next year. Beginning of next year, we expect the new Android Wear 2.0 to come out, and that will be a big improvement on that. So yeah, definitely worth it, in my opinion, to wait. I have 44 minutes on my birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday, Jalen. I hope you had a great birthday, and thank you for sharing the last minutes of it with me. Conflicted on going to the S7 Edge Gear VR or the Pixel XL Daydream View combo. Which one would you recommend? Well, we did pre-order the Pixel, so we're getting that with the Daydream, because they're giving you a free Daydream with that. So I'll be able to test out the Daydream. Overall, right now, the Gear VR has way more support than the Daydream, simply because the Pixel XL is currently the only phone that'll work on Daydream. If Google will actually expand that, which they've been kind of stingy on, to be honest, a little bit more than normal than Google does, then we'll see. But as of right now, the Gear VR has way more support, although I will say I love the motion control for the Daydream. However, Samsung will have motion control probably on their VR next year with the two-handed controls. I actually got to try it out at CES. They had like a wristband. It was a prototype, but they had like a wristband, and you got to be Iron Man, and you got to shoot things down, and it was freaking awesome. But we've seen nothing like that come out. How do you feel about the new Blackberry phone? I've never been a fan of Blackberry. Should I get the new Blackberry phone? In my opinion, I've never been that into Blackberry. There's nothing that they really offer me per se. I would recommend getting, if you really like Blackberry, actually. Get a Samsung phone with this case. So this is a case for different Samsung phones, and you basically make it into like a old-fashioned type of Blackberry. I didn't really care for it, but if you're a Blackberry user, this is like ideal. And then you can take this off of your phone screen. Your phone screen goes back to full size because it shrinks when you have this on there. And then it goes to the back of your phone, and when it's on the back of your phone, that doesn't do anything. So you're not going to hit accidental presses or anything like that. So this is great for people that loved Blackberry and that want something like it. It changes your Samsung phone into a Blackberry. Also, if you have an iPhone, you can do the Typo thing as well. I think it was Typo. It was by Ryan Seacrest's company. But yeah, so you can do that too. Samsung has to hit the S8 out of the park. I completely agree. How do you feel about... Oh, yeah. What would you recommend, Chromebook or laptop? I surf the web and listen to music on the laptop. Samsung Chromebook 3IS is 120 at the Surface Pro 3 is 160. If you find the Surface Pro 3 for 160, buy that immediately. Are you sure it's a Surface Pro 3? Surface Pro 3 for $160. I would buy that just to get another laptop. That's amazing. But look, you're saying you only surf the web and listen to music on your laptop. So my question for you would be this. Do you listen to music streaming wise the entire time, or do you listen to music on your laptop itself? Because in terms of your storage on a Chromebook, you usually have 32 gigs. Now you can of course expand this by putting in a memory card, put in a 128 gig memory card. That'll give you a lot of music. But that's the first question just right off the bat that you would have to ask yourself. In my personal experience, for $400, you can get a $500 laptop that you can do almost anything on, except for video editing and gaming. But for basic photo editing, for anything you would want to do, whether it be, all web browsing without slowing down, like I have hundreds of tabs, or not hundreds, but like probably about, not exaggerating, probably about 20 to 30 tabs open on average on my computer. I use about 8 gigs of RAM just on Chrome. So obviously a 4 gig of RAM or 2 gig of RAM Chromebook would never be good for me. A laptop would be necessary for me. Now, I don't open that many tabs on my laptop. My desktop is a workhorse. It can take it. I have 32 gigs of RAM on here. But that is the things that I would be talking about. So yeah, that's what I would say when you would buy a Chromebook versus a laptop. I would say you can buy a good Chromebook for $200 to $300, some even $400. At $400 though, I don't think a Chromebook is worth it, and I would say getting a laptop is better off at that point. $400 to $500, you can get perfect laptops that with i5 processors that will last you for anything you need to do. Whoa, whole bunch of questions just loaded. I'll never buy HP anything with my personal experience. Yep, that's exactly what we were talking about yesterday. On LG screen sharing, not good. Yeah, it's not as good as that. I won't buy LG. Question, when you had the Moto Z Force, did you experience any overheating? No, it got a little bit hot. I mean, it's glass backing, so it did get a little hot, but nothing like really, really hot or anything like that. No. Question. So if you had a wire charger plugged into the socket, eventually you would damage the battery in my phone. Yes, you are doing what's called trickle charging, and basically it's going back and up, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it will damage it over time. Will it damage it in a month? No, it's more like going to be like 6 months to a year. But that's why your battery life sucks after that amount of time. Do you think they will give a price reduction on the Note 8 for people that bought the Note 5 in the US, or maybe the S7 or SE? I do not see them doing I do not see them doing any kind of price reduction on the Note 8. However, could they do like BOGO deals? Could they give you again like memory cards and VRs and all that kind of stuff? Absolutely. Could they give away headphones? Maybe. Maybe they'll give away $200 headphones. Something like that is more what I would see Samsung doing than doing a price reduction. I know Samsung don't sell on Amazon, but I have my many retailers saying they do on eBay. I would expect if not on Amazon, then not on eBay, but I might be wrong. How can you tell the difference? Unfortunately, these sites like Amazon and eBay don't make it easy. There is no real way of telling that if Samsung has an official eBay store or has an official Amazon store. Samsung has publicly said, and so has Apple, that they do not sell anything on Amazon. So that way we know. But they don't make that. Unfortunately, they just don't regulate that as they should. But yeah, I'm definitely against the fact that they don't do it that way. But it's just unfortunately the way Amazon and eBay are, and it's why you always have to be careful with that and use return policies when needed. And never buy anything without no return policy. Yes, that Google Home is awesome for $129. I will say this. Google Home does not work with much. I am currently setting up smart home technology so that I can work more with it, but I'm very limited to things like SmartThings from Samsung as a hub, because you need a hub in order for it to work with anything. And then you have the Philips Hue, which are more expensive for lights, but you know what? They're just going to work the best with Google Home. And that's the one thing I will say. Now, will Google Home expand like Alexa did and like Echo and like the Amazon Echo did? Yeah, of course. But as of right now, it's just starting off. Do you think the next Note tablet will be worth getting USB-C wireless charging? I think it will have USB-C. I do not think a tablet will have wireless charging just because it will take longer to do. I would think it would be great if it would, but I don't think they will. What do you think about the rumored S8 digital fingerprint scanner? That's rumored because of technology that's been out for a little while now. There's technology out right now that basically lets you do a fingerprint on a screen. So you can just tap your screen and then your fingerprint unlocks. So there is technology out there that can do that. However, will that be able to be done? I don't know if it'll be able to be done by the S8. I think that would be more like something with the S9 personally, but we'll see. Okay, Dave, you're freaking awesome. He just put, I still have my Note 7 hashtag real courage. For those of you who don't get that, it's Apple's whole thing while getting rid of the headphone jack was courage. Hey, Ricky, thanks for letting me know about the slick deals last week. I've been hooked on it. I already got Unki Quick Charge for $4. Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who don't know, last week I had mentioned that, hey, look, if you ever want to get really good discounts, go and look up slickdeals.net or the Slick Deals app on your Google Play Store or Apple Store, and really great deals every day. They keep up. They're the best thing, and definitely great for Black Friday. Could Samsung update their phones one day to support remotely batteries and Samsung Pay all at the same time? I'm guessing you mean to remotely update? Yeah, they can do that right now, but it just carriers block it. So yeah. Hey RICKY, Buddy came, so there is going to be a Note 8. Yeah, again, as of right now, Samsung said that in South Korea, if you turn in your Note 7 and get an S7, you will get a discount on the S8 and Note 8. They said those by name. So, as of right now, yes. Hey Rick, it's your nephew Ollie's birthday today. Hey Sean, of course, wish Ollie a happy birthday for me. And hopefully you had fun today. Oh, wow. Sorry, a whole bunch of stuff just loaded. Gear Icon X or something else except earbuds. Wait, was there another part of that question that I'm missing? Not sure what part of that was missing. Rookie question. Ricky, easiest way to transfer files from Android to iOS without having to use the computer? I know it's a rookie question, sorry. Well, if you're transferring from Android to iOS, the best way is to use Apple's app. Apple actually has a transfer to iOS app, and that would be the best way to do it. There's not many solutions for it, unfortunately, so Apple's solution is pretty much the main solution to transfer. I've been a Samsung guy since the Vibrant, Vibrant. Now own a Note 4. Both times I was going to get the Note 7 before the recall. If there's a Note 8, should I wait? I am a power user. Power users, I always recommend the Note. That's just my opinion. What is the best affordable laptop? It's whatever's out there right now. First of all, with laptops, like I told one of my best friend Richie, is that when he has a laptop, the first thing you need to take a look at is what screen do you want, because that's going to determine everything from there on. So do you want a 13.3 inch screen? Do you want a 12 inch screen? Do you want a 14 inch screen? Do you want a 15.6 inch screen? Do you want a 17 inch screen? This is first what you want to decide, then go from there. So once you get that, so say I want a 13.3 inch screen. Okay, well, for $400 or to $500, one thing you want is an i5 processor. i3 processor will get you by, but an i5 processor is going to let you do a lot more. And when you buy a laptop, you can't think about what you're doing on a computer now. It's what you want to do on a computer in the future. And you don't want to ever hit a roadblock after spending $400 to $500 doing that. So that's the big thing. You want an i5 processor. $400 to $500 i5 processor with whatever screen you want. And that's what you want to go for. Now, for $400, you'll probably get 4 gigs of RAM. But for $500, you're going to find some that'll give you 8 gigs of RAM. Now, this is usually when you go on sale and things like that. So, for Black Friday, those are the things you should look for. Those really cheap $200 ones typically have an Celeron processor or a Pentium processor, which is a complete garbage. And that, will slow down on you very quickly. So, yes, in my opinion, you want an i5 processor. Someone's asking about AMD. You would want an A8 processor if you're going for AMD. In that case, A6, A8, A10 would follow that same thing as i3, i5, and i7. Is the MSI GSL? Let me look up this. Okay, so this is a power laptop. So just upon looking, I will attempt to look through this really quick. So you have an i7 processor. You have a 1060 graphics card, which is up there. It's I think the second. I want to say second best. I think the 1080 is the best, and I don't think there's a 1070, at least not yet. 1080p display, IPS panel, or a 35 or 30. Sorry, UHD display, 4K display. You can get that with a 100% RBG, which is more expensive. Keep that in mind. Exclusive cooler technology. Ooh, it has an M2 SSD. That's what I have in my computer, so that's definitely good. Oh, that's optional. I see. So a lot of these things are optional, so it's hard to tell. It depends on your configuration. Does it look good? Absolutely, looks great. The one thing I will say though is that it's an IPS display. I'm really waiting for more OLED displays in laptops right now. So personally, for me, I've thought about buying a laptop. I've thought about replacing my Surface and just selling my Surface for maybe like $500 or $600 and then getting my a better laptop. But overall, and mainly for a bigger display. But right now, it's like I'm waiting for an OLED display. That's what I'm really waiting for, because I think that's really going to be the next best step. And I really, every time I travel, I end up watching videos on my tablet over my laptop, even though my laptop has a bigger screen. Why do I do that? Well, it's simply because of this. Because my tablet has an AMOLED display and my laptop just has an IPS display. So I rather watch better color and more vibrant and brighter screen when I want to do everything. So that's why. Sorry, I missed it. Can you repeat the Icon X? I think you were just... I didn't understand what you meant by the Icon X. So I'm guessing you're asking, are they good? The Icon X's are good for working out. They are not everyday Bluetooth headphones. So all these kind of headphones are meant for 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on the headphones. And then you get to charge them in their case 2 to 3 more times. So typically with the Icon X's, I get about 4 days to 5 days of battery life of working out 2 days each of the, or 2 hours each of those days, or 1 hour each of those days. So that's my experience. AMD 10 or i7? Sorry, I'll still pick an i7 always. Why Surface Studio display is crisp at 192 pixels per inch, but the same pixels per inch suck on a smartphone? That's because of how far you are from it. You're not gonna sit like, super close. Like, I'm not gonna be like this on a studio, or even like this. Typically, I'm like this from the studio, from a desktop screen. I mean, my desktop screen is past this camera. So that's where my desktop screen is. My 4K smart TV is on the wall over here, much further. Can I see any pixels on this 4K display? No, it's a 40-inch TV with a 4K display, so it has less pixels per inch than 192, most likely. Didn't really measure it. But so why does the studio look so crisp is because it's further away. It is using newer technology according to Microsoft too, but overall, that's why. I have a Samsung Galaxy View 20-inch tablet. Use it as a phone Wi-Fi. Oh, that's cool. Everyone looks at me like I've never seen one before, nor is it that popular. I got it from AT&T. Yeah, honestly, that was a great little device. I actually thought about getting it. I thought something like that would be great for the kitchen. I was gonna get the Alcatel one. Unfortunately, Alcatel never sent it to me, so I couldn't review it for you guys and then have it as my main device in the kitchen. So it sucked. By the way, I spoke 2.2 separate two separate reps from Samsung, and they both assured me they'll be offering a trade-in option for the S8 Note 8. They can assure you all they want. They do not know a damn thing. I'll tell you that right now. I know VPs at Samsung in the US. No, they do not know a damn thing as of right now. So they can assure you all they want, but those reps are BSing you. There's no confirmation on anything like that right now. They might be definitely like, oh yeah, no, they're definitely probably going to do something like that for our customers. But they do not know if that's true or not. Flat out, they do not know. Hi, mate. Any info on the Blackberry smartphone launches for this current year or early 2017? I believe it launches this year, but I have not looked too much into the Blackberry phone, to be honest. As long as you downgrade to the S7, truthful, we'll see. Sorry, Rick. Didn't mean to remote. Oh, removable. Removable batteries. Could Samsung make their phones to support both removable batteries and Samsung Pay? Could they? Possibly. Do they have the technology for it right now at an affordable cost? No. So, will they in the future? Possibly. Definitely possibly. But as of right now, Samsung does not have the technology at an affordable cost to have a removable battery and have Samsung Pay. Hey, did you think the Note 4 will be discontinued or discounted on Black Friday on eBay? That's definitely a possibility. eBay has done phones that are about 2 years old to 3 years old at a lower price, so that's a definite possibility. So I mean, I remember when like the S3 was on there for like $100. It was, yeah. So they've done really expensive phones at that price. There's already a T-Mobile Black Friday ad, but they want to switch their new one plan. But I have a classic grandfather plan, so no use for me. I haven't seen any Black Friday ads yet. That's interesting that you already seen the T-Mobile one. I'm really interested to see what they have. Android Wear Update. What is the future for wearables? Android Wear Update has a lot of big update features. Having standalone apps, which is something that I've always had on my Samsung, where I've always had on my Samsung watches. That's a big, huge change for it. I definitely would say that when it comes to a lot of that kind of stuff, you get a lot of good quality in terms of what was I saying? Sorry, I saw another question. In terms of wearables, we'll see how the Gear S3 does. I'll get that in 2 weeks. But in terms of Android Wear, you're not getting an update till next year. How long does it take the case to charge the Icon X from 0 to 100? About an hour. Or at least I haven't taken it out till about an hour and then drained it all the way. MSI has that feature where when the laptop is over 90%, it stays plugged in and not charging. So when the battery goes down, it's 100 while charging, while playing it's normal. So you're saying it goes to 90%, it says, oh, that it says it's not charging, even though it still is. So when you disconnect it that way, it'll be to 100. So yeah, it actually how these batteries work is they go up to 100 and they go down to 90, then they go up to 100 to go down to 90, go up to 100 to go down to 90. That's how these things work. That's why it dies sometime when you still have like 7%, 10%, 20%. The reason why they die at those percentages is because they didn't actually have that much. When you took it out, it says it was 100, but it wasn't really at 100. What do you think about Tizen, the Samsung Gear software? I think it's the best UI because of the rotating dial, but it needs more apps. So that's what I think. Do you think Samsung will remove the headphone jack? No. Is there a cooling gel system for a phone to keep it from overheating? Just wanted to know. No, actually. Believe it or not, Samsung S7 Edge, S7 and Note 7 all have liquid cooling built into them. Now, this isn't traditional liquid cooling like in a computer, but it is liquid cooling nonetheless. It takes basically the steam from it and uses that steam in order to cool down the phone. Now, obviously, did not work with the Note 7, but it does work good with the S7 and S7 Edge. I just tuned in, so can you please tell me about the Note 8? Also, have you heard anything about the Huawei Honor Note 8? So in terms about the Note 8, the only thing that we said is that we have confirmed that there is a Note 8 because Samsung said it by name. that it will be it be confirmed that the you will get a discount on the S8 or the Note 8 if you turn in your Note 7 and get an S7 this week. So yeah. Or sorry, not this week, this year. And no, I haven't heard anything on the Huawei Honor 8. Well, nothing detailed. Well, Ricky, I found the ad through Slick Deals forum. LOL. That's hilarious. Under the Black Friday 2016 master list, already a couple of ads, including Harbor Freight, Dollar General, and T-Mobile. I'll check it out then. I heard from a T-Mobile DM that they were gonna that they already had their Black Friday stuff. So yeah, I'm very interested to see. Any ETA on when the Gear S3 will be on sale in the U.S.? Tomorrow will be the announcement. Dropped live here first. Tomorrow will be the announcement. Will Samsung ever make a $400 mid-range phone like the iPhone SE? No, they just have their other phones drop in price. Like you can find a Note 5 on sale for $400. Definitely, I've seen it. So yeah, slick deals.net. Hello, Ricky. Do you think the Coral Blue S7 Edge will have 64 gig? I do not, unfortunately, Maria. I wish it would, but unfortunately, I do not think it will have 64 gig. That would be perfect for me, but I do not think they will have it. Are AT&T's phones bad because I have a Note 3 phone and the back keys and the menu button don't work? I don't think that's AT&T phone specifically. It just, sometimes stuff goes bad after a long period of time. It happens. That's honestly just all I can say about it. Have you heard of the Motorola? No, I've not heard of these Motorola ones. Are these made by Motorola? Yes, they are made by Motorola. So these are 250. So how long do you actually... Yeah, 12 hours of playtime with the charger. So how long do you actually get from it? They're sweat resistant. That's really cool. So they have like a headphone locator, which is really cool. Okay, so I don't really like the way Motorola is pitching this because they don't say the actual battery life. Up to 12 hours with charging case, but I have no idea how long they actually last, which really sucks. But yeah, no, these are really good looking ones, but for $250, that's a little pricey. I mean, already the freaking Icon X is for 200 is pricey. For 250, I don't know if I would spend that much on headphones that do basically the same thing as the Samsung ones. Where can you find a Note 5 for 400? They've been on sale before. The Note 5 has been at 400 before, on sale on Slick Deals at like B&H and also Andromeda, and also what was the other one? And eBay. What are T-Mobile downsides? T-Mobile downsides are basically if you live in a non-metropolitan area. I personally always plan on living in Los Angeles, just where I love living, and I will always probably live here. So I had Verizon. I had Verizon since I was on AirTouch. Hashtag AirTouch, if you remember what that is. I have had Verizon for a long time, and I left because T-Mobile was just way better priced. I had a Verizon phone and a T-Mobile phone, and I literally had signal almost everywhere. Like I saw T-Mobile signal get better and better and better every year to the point where it matched Verizon in terms of signal, and it's faster. It is faster in Los Angeles most of the time compared to Verizon. So for that reason, yeah, that's why I switched. But the downsides are definitely if you don't upgrade every year, you're paying more money. Um, yeah, so I mean that's what I would say. The downsides are just that you're paying more money for it. So yeah. Uh, do you like the Gear S3? I don't have the Gear S3 yet, so I do not know yet. When looking to root my Note 5 to use a Note 7 ROM, couldn't find one. All I found was a converted Note 4 to Note 3 to Note 7 ROM. Am I missing something? It just depends on. They have to make a ROM with all the drivers for the Note 5. So they take the UI from the Note 7 and put it and convert it to do it. So yeah, that's what they're doing. Is it available yet? I mean, people have to do this. So if they don't do it, then you won't find it. People are going out of their way to make these ROMs work for the phone you want. Do you root your phones? Not anymore. Can I still return my Note 7 if it's rooted? Yes, you can return your Note 7 if it's rooted. No problem. Alright guys, I think we will call that a show. Went a little over an hour. So yeah, again, if you have not already, please go to our Patreon page and donate $1 for the month, and it really helps us out, and it gives you a chance to win some $100 headphones. So thank you as always for everything else. We got a lot of videos coming up this week, including the S7 Edge versus iPhone 7 Plus camera comparison and full comparison, and hopefully our Pixel will finally come in so we can get started on those. Thank you as always for watching, guys. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. Not leave them in the comment section down below. Email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com or ask any questions at our Patreon page, and I answer all of those guaranteed. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.